Hi everybody, my name is Jane. I've recently had an epiphany with one of my 10-year-old students. He told me that the brain is a torus, and you know how much I'm fascinated by the sacred geometry of the inside becomes the outside and the torus. And then when he told me that the brain is a torus, I did a sketch of visualizing the brain as two halves. This is all about whole brain learning. And this sketch of the brain is a torus made me contemplate the cosmic man, woman, hermaphrodite, the being that contains all knowledge. So the sketch now evolved into this complicated text and graphics. So all this knowledge that you see is really saying that we have all this cosmic knowledge in our cells, in our mind, and in our spiritual bodies. So this is what we call cellular memory. So I decided to put down what I believe is important as the codes of creation. So we understand that there's this thing with the brain. So this is a story that we start from the base of the spine, which contains the 8 original cells. So the cube is symbolic of 8 spheres, which actually form the cube of space. This is the container of creation. It's the mother of all form. And then the other extreme, as we've got the spine, is the brain is the torus. We know that. Now, if you went from the base to the top, and you go to the midpoint, there's the midpoint, but we know that the midpoint of unity is 0.5, but the golden ratio is a fraction more than half. It's 0.618. So I've drawn the heart here. So, but the epiphany is that these two spirals of the heart represent a separation. We need to unite the two golden spirals into the one where the eyes of the spiral meet. So the real epiphany of this whole cosmic man woman is called the golden heart, the higher heart, where the two eyes become one. So this is not about twin flames, because when we talk about twin flames, I'm going to draw twin flames here. So we've got one golden spiral, but then if we draw the other golden spiral, which represents the other person, this represents two people in love. This is the symbol for love that we've used for thousands of years. But the epiphany is that these two eyes of the spiral represent two beings in love. But our spiritual journey is not about just loving another, it's about loving ourselves. So this is an image that Dan Winter did an animation on, which I'll show in my presentations. But I'm going to merge the two eyes of God into the one. And this is the mathematics of infinity. So I'm going to draw one spiral here, and it goes around forever like that. And now the other spiral is, I'll do it in purple to show that the two spirals now merge at a common point, which I believe is the true esoteric meaning of what the heart is all about. So that's really what this whole chart is about. So I've effectively put everything down visually, because we learn through high visual content. So I decided to put other things in here to make the human body look like a tree. So this section here is all about our roots. If we hug a tree, what are you doing when you hug a tree? You're actually putting your heart against the tree. You become one with the tree of life. But you can therefore choose to go down into the roots, where you see your past life, your connection to the ancestors, to all your memories of your birth, everything. But the other thing too is that we hug a tree, our heart connects to the cells of the tree, but we can go up the tree into the branches to see our future, to see our guides, to access the Akashic records, to go to the halls of healing. So I like to talk about the tree of life, because this is our roots. This is where the energy comes in through the left foot, and the energy comes out through the right foot. So therefore that means the energy comes in through our left hand, and it comes out of the right hand. Energy comes in through the torus. That's what the torus does. It sucks energy in, and we also breathe in through our feet. And the melting pot, or the meeting place of these counter-rotating fields is the heart. And what's interesting here is that the center of this whole chart, if you drew a diagonal there and a diagonal there, you can see these two lines. They meet right here at the center. So this is the point of our navel. This is symbolic of our embryonic connection to the galactic knowledge. So every part of this drawing has a symbolic meaning. So, and the reason why that's important is that this is the point of birth. That's why I've got this little embryo, this cute little embryo is emerging out of the center of this cosmic man. The reason why that's interesting is because we're talking about the golden heart. The first organ to form in the embryo is not the brain. Most people think the brain was the first thing to form. It's actually the human heart. So we have to learn how to come back to our center, back to our heart, how to love, how to forgive, heal all these emotions, because it's not about attaining more knowledge. That's, in one sense, I've put all this information and data to represent cosmic knowledge, but we're not after knowledge. We're learning how to let go, how to reconnect with our higher self. So I've put some other components in here. So when we look at the torus here, I have one over here. There's this drawing here shows that the sphere implodes. It's a dimple in, like an apple is a torus, and there's a south pole and north pole, but there's energy within the implosion of the sphere. So that's called sacred geometry at its best. Sacred geometry is really about remembering who we are, where we came from. So we need to study the mathematics of nature. So when we study a pine cone over here, you can see that there's two spirals going on. So we've got a symbolic drawing of the 813, because if you stare at this cone, there's 8 spirals going clockwise. But if you squint your eyes and look again, you're going to see that there's 13 spirals going the other way. So this is that duality of left and right, energy coming in and out. And that's why that's kind of like a vortex. So this is the vortex of energy sucking in, because when you were at 512 cells, the geometry of mitosis became a torus. We were a torus. And the first organ to form was the human heart. So you got the explosion and implosion. This became your mouth sucking in, and then this became your anus, the explosion, letting go. So the fundamental shape of the universe is a torus. So that was the original inspiration for this cosmic man, woman, golden heart. There's 20, and the mathematics of the Fibonacci sequence, when we subtract number 9 from all the Fibonacci numbers, like 3, 5, 8, 13 becomes 4, 21 becomes 3. We end up with a Sri 108 code. And then we learn how to square our circle, how to make heaven and earth equal. And this reveals all the galactic code numbers of 24 and 27, 108. So this is a journey of looking to understand where we came from and who we are. So there's a lot in this. One of the most important things we can do is start looking at multi-dimensional geometry. So we might have a tetrahedron here, which has 4 triangle faces. But when Magic Spider goes into the tetrahedron and joins the 4 face centers internally, we get a small tetrahedron inside the mother tetrahedron. And the volume of this tetra fits 27 times into the mother. So this ratio of 24 to 27 or 8 is to 9 is a harmonic code. So there'll be certain sequences like 27, which is Rubik's Cube, double at 54, 108, 216, 432 hertz. And all these cosmic numbers relate to the diameter of the sun. So we contain all this knowledge within us. That's the point. It's not about knowledge, it's the epiphany of loving who we are and where we're going. So I just wanted to give you a little download on the Golden Heart Sacred Geometry. And if you want to know more, you can go to the link in the bio. And I hope you enjoyed this small presentation. Thank you.